PlayStation versus playground. What's the Gen Z perspective?
Gen Zs, I feel, are having a little bit of a harder time.
What's addiction? Is it different from obsession?
If they get bored, there's one thing they should all know. You should finish what you started.
This is my passion. How do you identify that?
Many people say that failure is one of the greatest successes.
Tell me three things, each of you, that your generation is doing wrong. Playing outside makes me feel.
Really happy.
Excited. Failure is not when you lose something. Failure is when you stop trying.
Why is the nature of gaming so addictive? A recent survey asked parents a simple question. What is the number one enemy of children, especially boys today? And the most common answer was PlayStation. PlayStation versus playground. What's the Gen Z perspective? To get real answers, we are stepping into the minds of two young boys and listening to their shared, lived expectations and not just opinions from outside. But before we dive in, please hit and subscribe to this community as we empower young learners to speak boldly and fearlessly. First up, we have Burhanuddin, a 14-year-old student from Amity School, Dubai. Burhanuddin is a basketball and science enthusiast. When he is not in the court, he is polishing his skills in public speaking. Having secured second position in the elocution round where he participated along with 30 more schools and secured the laurels. Next up, we have Ahaan Sachdeva, an 11-year-old student from British International School of Abu Dhabi. Ahaan balances many passions. He is a competitive chess player, a video editor, an avid reader, and also participated in the World Scholars Cup and represented his school. So he is an example that today's kids cannot be fit into one box. So let's straight get into the conversation. Welcome, Ahaan and Burhan.
Hi, ma'am. It's a pleasure being
Hello.
here.
It's a pleasure being here.
How excited are you for this conversation?
Really excited.
Excited, but a huge lot of nervous.
Okay, great. I'm sure this conversation is going to flow very smoothly and have a memorable impact on our audience. Let's get started. So, our theme today is playground versus PlayStation. So, let's understand who is that playground energy and who is that PlayStation energy vibe in the room today. What's your zone?
So my zone is mostly I like to balance. Sometimes I like to watch a bit of television. Sometimes I like to go down, hang out with my friends, and sometimes read.
Well, I also like to balance stuff. And I usually go to the pond park, which is really near to my house. And also, I have PlayStation, so I usually get engaged in that sometimes with my brother.
Great. So, do we say that you love to have a balance of both? Like you said, okay, you like to play Fortnite or PlayStation, but at the same time, you also want to hang out outside. Is that true?
Yes.
So, tell me, what is that sport that you are recently learning, and how? What is it that? What is the process that you took to learn that sport?
Well, so I've recently gotten into a lot of basketball, and it all started when I was introduced into a tournament, an inter-school tournament, where we competed against other schools, and I really liked the sport. So then I thought, why don't I start learning the sport? And I started learning it, and I fell in love with it, and I kept on learning it until now, and I've gone to multiple competitions with my school.
Sahan?
So my a sport which I'm engaged in is football. I mean, it started really early in my life. I used to hang out with my friends, and one day one of my friends got a football. He taught us how to play. Then sooner or later, we all really started to love football. Like it was a part of us, and we kept practicing and playing, joined clubs, playing tournaments, and still to this day we still love football.
Lovely. So, who are these people who've influenced you into sports? Is it friends? Is it family? Or is it internet?
I would say it's a mix of all three. So my family has supported me for playing any sport which you like.
Hmm.
So my heart leaned towards basketball, and they're like, "Sure, we'll buy a basketball. You can practice at home." And they have actually bought me a basketball that you can use indoors and which won't disturb the downstairs neighbors too. And
Great.
also my friends. My friends are really supportive, and they also like to play with me, compete against me, and yeah, and also the internet. So I've seen a lot of videos about a lot of matches of basketball, and that has really got me intrigued into the dynamics of the game as well.
For Ahaan, who are these people who have influenced you to play football?
Well, I totally agree with Borhan. It's a mix of three, but I think it all started with my friends. They introduced me, they got me into the game. Then my family also supported me. Like they bought me footballs, they put me in a club to practice football, and the media is what gave me the motivation to keep playing. Well, I used to see these new skills, I wanted to learn them. I saw this new goal, I wanted to do that. So it's that motivation you get.
You know, I sometimes pity you, Gen Zs. You are involved into so many activities in school and outside school. I think there is barely any time left for you to sit and get bored. I mean, do you agree that there has been time when you have no time to breathe? You've come back from school, you join some clubs, and then by the time you're home, you're dead. And where's the time to get bored? Because when you are doing nothing, that's the time when creativity thrives. So, do you think that one of the reasons why we don't see creative things coming out, especially from your generation?
I actually feel that our generation has a lot of creativity flowing in between us, because there's so many new creations, so many new innovative ways that are coming out from the children as well. And also, for example, we Gen Zs, from my personal experience, so what I like to do is my entire day is filled up. I come from school, I play little sports, I go for tuitions, I come back. And then at the end, once I eat dinner, I lay in my bed and just look up at the ceiling and keep on thinking. A little bit wonder goes through my mind here and there. So I have time for creativity. We make time for creativity, but at the same time, I feel it, we balance out it as well. That's why we're able to incorporate so much creativity into our talks, and we're able to implement it to create more things.
But what I think, Burhan, is you're left with very little time to even reflect on the things and activities and skills that you're learning. Because any skill you learn, you need also time to observe, analyze your mistakes, and overcome those hurdles. In my opinion, kids are involved into so many array of activities, whether it is online and offline, and that's where there is the creativity kind of limits in children, and it pushes them to do things that are deriving them that giving them that dopamine, that happiness, and that's when they sit with the screen in front of them and for long hours because they want to feel relaxed. That's the way they reset themselves. That's being the phone in front of them is the way to reset themselves. Has there been a time like this then when you're on screen you feel like this is mine, this is me time, and this is the way I reset myself?
Well, first I used to think exactly about what you're saying. I think a year ago when I used to come back from school, I felt exhausted. I just wanted some me time, just wanted to rest, watch something. Then I used to watch some YouTube, some Mr. Beast. You know, it used to get me engrossed. But then I realized that's not that's not a time for creativity, because I used to think, oh, this is my time for creativity. I could watch. Then I realized no, because something is telling me something. I'm engrossed in watching, so I don't have any time to think for creativity. Then I realized the best thing to do is just take a break, just sit down, take a small breath, maybe do some yoga in the morning, wake up early, have a nice walk.
Absolutely. I think a lot of Gen Z's who are watching the show should align themselves to what the kids are saying. It's about setting routines. It's screen time isn't bad. PlayStation isn't your enemy. It's just the way how you set your time and have a routine for yourself. Tell me one thing. What is the process of understanding what's your hobby? Like for us as kids, when growing up, we didn't have the resources that you all have. Forget internet. So the only hobbies that we developed was writing, journaling, maybe um, doing something with our hands like cooking, or maybe pottery, or maybe knitting. Those are the little skills that were commonly accessed by children in our days. Now you have array of things, an array of hobbies to choose from. How do you know that this is the this is my passion? How do you identify that?
I feel that when you have a lot of things to do, keep on finding out something which you're leaning towards. So if you have, like, for example, I have three things in front of me. If I want to go for basketball, or if I want to go for cooking, or if I want to do my studies. Okay, now which one am I leaning towards? Now I feel that is something which you would like to do in your free time. Now, what I would do is I would sometimes either go play basketball, or I would sometimes start to help my mom cook for some time, or I would do a little bit here and there revision of what we did in school. And I also have one more habit, that whenever I'm a little free and my body is well rested, I go down and start cycling with my friends. So it gets my mind cleared up. And also, so that is basically how we define passion or
Hmm.
hobbies. So what we lean towards, what we love, is what we do.
But that could be temporary, right? Like you joined swimming and you stayed there for about few sessions or 2 months or 3 months, and then your interest weans out, and then you again hop on to another activity. So isn't that a bit complicated, because you don't know what's your real passion? You are dabbling between too many things.
I think that's one of the main problems with Gen Zs, because there are so many things, as you said, there are array of things. So Gen Zs, I feel, are having a little bit of a harder time trying to figure out and jump from here and there one another. But I think that once a person finds what they really love the most, I think they would stick with it.
Hmm. And for that, you'll have to try different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Otherwise, you won't know what is your real passion. Right. And I think up to a certain age, you must go into other different activities, see what is the real passion. Is it really deriving you that happiness, that focus? And you are willing to go back to that activity again and again and again. And I think that's how you develop and find identify your passion. Right. So, Han, what's your process of identifying a particular hobby?
So first, if I had like to identify an hobby and a hobby for myself, I would first try multiple different types of hobbies. Like I'll try reading, I'll try football, I'll try basketball, maybe swimming. I'll try to check and find out which hobby is meant for me. Like which hobby do I want to get into? And
It's the
it's
same
not
thing that we
only,
just said.
yeah, me
As I
too.
can see, you are into so many different activities, Ahan. You're doing chess, you're basketball, you're into football, you're doing to World Scholars Cup, and you're doing multiple things. Does that does that give you that satisfaction at the end of the day, or you are exhausted?
Well, sometimes it's a mix of both. If there's a fun event, if I played a really interesting or mind blowing game in chess, or I did a really cool move in football, well, that motivates me to keep moving on. And it's not only that, social media, you see these people who are playing the hobbies which I also do, doing cool stuff, and I also want to do those, so that keeps me motivated. So that's how somebody finds their hobby. If they get bored, there's one thing they should all know: you should finish what you started.
That's a very strong point. I think a lot of kids, they don't stay on for a longer time. It's like the interest keeps fluctuating too often. And I think at this point, the parents must help the children uh, figure out what their passion is by helping them stay on for a longer time, that you mentioned, because that's the way you understand that if it is just a phase that you are in, that because skill that you're learning is going to get complicated, instead of backing off, you stay on and develop that skill for a little longer period of time, right? And if you still feel the same, you're lacking excitement, and I think that's the time when you step back, right? So a very strong point indeed. So talking about games, sports, PlayStation, um, we never term games and sports as addictive. I mean, your parents would never say, "Oh, he's addictive to football." Even though we do, it won't be considered toxic. They'll be like, "Oh, good, he's physically active," you know. But when we say PlayStation addiction, it immediately create that negative aura, right? That yeah, it is a bad thing. What's addiction? Is it different from obsession?
I feel that addiction isn't a now type of problem. It's a problem that has been going throughout the generations. But the term addiction has been different in each generation. So for Gen Zs is when you over obsess on one thing. And I feel that you're right that many parents feel that when the kid's going down, even though he's going excessively, it might be taking a toll over his body, but still it is good for him.
Yeah.
But he's not able to balance a few things, I feel. That has happened with me. So also let's come to gaming. And in gaming, I feel that addiction is when you don't even take up free time. You take up free time as well as the time which you leave for other things. So for example, if you have a timetable made, a specific time for gaming, and you have a specific time for going down to play, now obsession and addiction is when the gaming time overlaps into the when you're going down, the fun time when you're going down, so you're not able to balance both. Instead, you're overlapping one on top of the other. That's what addiction means.
Hmm. You mean don't stretch any activity so much that it feeds into your other schedules and other activities, and that becomes addiction.
Balance is very important.
Yeah, but isn't balance a very heavy word for Generation Z at the moment? Um, balance. I mean, you're living in your digital natives, and you're surrounded by all the latest digital innovations. So, where's the word balance coming from?
I
And is it
think,
difficult?
yeah, it's a little difficult for Gen Zs, but I feel that we will be able to go get through it by making a timetable, by our parents' support, by them criticizing us every single day. We will be able to get on track and balance out the virtual world from the real world as well.
Right. They need to learn to come out from the real world into the real world and understand that.
I think there's one term which is used a lot: doom scrolling.
Yes.
Doom scrolling is when a child goes into the virtual world and keeps on going. He creates a limit in his mind: 5 minutes. When that 5 minutes comes, he's like, five more, 5 more, 5 more minutes, procrastinating here and there a lot. And that keeps on going, and that is over obsession, addiction. And
Right.
I think that Gen Zs will be able to find a balance from it.
Yeah, I would also like to add something on. So, like Burhan said, with addiction, addiction changes through generations. I also think that balance also changes. Like in past generations, balance could have been from going down and studying, and then in this generation, balance might be balancing video games, studies, and going down. But I think in future generations, the virtual and gaming part, which when you're on screens will increase, because since the world is slowly and getting into AI so deeply, so people will start spending more time on gadgets, trying to make new things. So I think balance differs between generations.
So, what's your addiction at the moment, Ahan, in terms of gaming?
I mean, in terms of gaming, my addiction now is just watching television. Like,
Gaming. Which game is addictive at the moment for you?
in my opinion, a game which is addictive is Roblox. Because first, so many people play Roblox. Like a lot of people play Roblox. I heard they have over 10 billion Roblox accounts. like accounts, not people. So, and also many children nowadays love to play Roblox because it's not one game. You can create your own game. You can play different games. There's a fishing game. There's a sports game, a car game. So yeah, that game is really addictive.
Absolutely. Why is the nature of gaming so addictive? I mean, you guys play games more than our generations. So, and even social media, to that matter, is also addictive. According to me, it is overstimulating our brain. So our brain gets this chemical which says, which is dopamine, which is responsible for excitement, for happiness. And I think doom scrolling, as you mentioned, is also one way where they are getting that instant gratification. They are like, okay, this is fine. I've watched this. Now let me go to the next one, and the next one, and then they're feeding the chemical to their brain so much that then they are left exhausted after screen hours. It has happened with me. Uh, that when I'm on social media for a longer period of time, I come out of it exhausted. And I have no not just energy to work, but even my social energy is exhausted. I do not wish to go and see anybody. I don't like to talk to my own mom after I have spent so many hours on social media. So has there been any time with you guys when you are on screen for a long time and then you come out of it with mood swings, with aggression, feeling resentful?
Actually, coming up to your point, I have realized something, that I feel that millennials are a little more addicted to social media than Gen Zs, because
Okay,
they keep on scrolling
you're
through their
right.
day and posting stories about their perfect life, which I think is a really not a good thing, because it shows fake realities and scenarios, and that goes into other people's lives. Now, coming to the aggression part, when I usually go to doom scrolling, I watch television. Now again, when the phone goes away, I come back to reality. I look around, the lights feel completely different in the surroundings. And even when I'm talking to my mom initially, my mom, dad, anyone, it's like a little bit more aggressive way, like a
Yeah.
little more of a little
Yes.
enthusiastic way.
Yes.
Even though you feel drained, it comes out as a little bit aggressive
So
or
how do you control
enthusiastic.
that? How do you control that, Ahan?
So I think it's always good to take a break between gaming. You shouldn't be so
Yes.
engrossed. And I totally agree with the point you gave to Borhan. After you play games or you watch, you just feel worn out. Your physical and mental energy is just poof, gone. But it depends what game you're playing. If you're playing some shooting or fighting game, when you go down, you feel like fighting. You feel that balance. You because when you are in one world and you wanna and you really like that world, so you wanna relive that again.
Right.
But I think kids have a bit more control than millennials, like you were saying, because they're always your parents to look out for you.
I've also seen this between younger kids, that when, for example, they won't leave their phone, parents have to take it away from them. And when they do, they get a little aggressive. They're like, "Why did you take the phone away from me? Why
Yes.
are you taking the phone? I need the phone.
Yeah.
I don't want to get away from the screen. Why are you taking the screen away from me?" They
Yes.
start screaming, they start grinding their teeth, and they need to find
So, are you
balance.
guys okay when you see these little children on screen and howling after they don't get the phone? Does it affect you in any way? Because it affects us a lot. We feel sorry for these kids who have no time to, who are not given that exposure to, do other activities because they're so glued to their phone. Even they need their phone while eating. They don't eat until we give them the phone. What emotions do you feel when you see this happening around you? Does it make you feel like this is okay? Because this is a generational gap then. Because for us, it hurts us. We don't want our kids to be on
I
screen.
mean, yeah, for us also, it makes us feel a little gloomy, that is this how we behaving? But then again, I feel that we will be able to overcome it. At a certain point, I feel we're able to overcome it. And I feel that nowadays, like little kids, they have taken food as a connection to your phone. So when the food comes, they're like, "Give me the phone, give me the phone. I want the phone." That you see, it's food time now. You have to give me the phone so you can feed me.
Right. And the downside of this is, the when we eat, our sensory parts are activated in our mouth. So that's how we feel the taste of the food, the smell of the food. Now children have lost that feeling of eating food. Food is connection. It's your being. And these days you see kids, they don't even know what's being fed to them. I remember watching a reel where a child was fed a garlic pod in her mouth. Okay. She didn't get any taste of it. And when the mom moved the phone away, she jumped up. She was like, "What is this?" And she started yelling because then she felt the taste of garlic, the strong taste of garlic in her mouth. So this is shocking. This is really shocking to what the kids are doing, to what the parents are also a part of this whole ecosystem. And I think somewhere we need to draw a line.
So I totally agree with your point. Well, once when I used to watch with my tablet, my parents did not like it. So they decided to test me. So they gave me a really spicy food. Spicy food. Okay, they gave me the plate. I didn't know what I was eating. I just wanted to watch. Started eating. I think I finished the entire spicy food plate. And then after 30 minutes after eating, I felt normal. The next day they gave me the exact same thing without my tablet. And then I felt spiciness. And I was just freaked out. Why would they give me such a spicy thing? But then that's when I stopped watching while I eat. I realized that you lose your consciousness and your grip into the world when you're watching. So yeah.
One more thing I've seen is time. When you have, let's say, we take two bowls of the same food to a child, I feel that when he's watching the phone while eating, he takes longer than it is to eat the food without the phone.
So talking about health, and that includes physical health too. Do you guys think you all move enough? Because in my opinion, Gen Zs are the most they follow a lot of sedentary lifestyle where they go to school, they are sitting for long hours, they come home again, they are on their device or doing an online activity. As their physical activities are less, the outdoor activities are less, except the PE period that's in the school. I do feel kids don't move enough. Even the research supports the same thing, that the children's movements from the ages 14 to 18 years have substantially dropped since 2023.
Well, I have recently seen a survey in which who has done a survey, WHO, and in 2022 they had done a survey in which they checked on how many kids actually have enough of requirements of like physical activity, and 80% of those children did not meet the requirements. But I feel that now schools are taking a big step and incorporating everything inside it. So now in my school, we have during breaks also, they give one break to the younger students and one break to the senior students, so that we can go in the PE hall and play any sport we want.
But isn't that a part of your PE lesson?
No, that's not part of during our break. So we have two breaks in our school.
Got
Yeah,
it.
and one break, alternating breaks. And also we have before school activities and after school activities in which it's either helping your mental health. So like we have chess classes and graphic novel classes, making graphic novel, or we have basketball classes, football,
So you
tennis,
think the
badminton.
school's
Yeah,
doing enough?
it's doing a lot. But
Right.
also now I feel with the World Cup, basketball World Cup, football World Cup, all of that coming in, I think it creates a little bit of dopamine rush, as you said. So like this students and all of the children are like really enthusiastic to go down, because they also want to get on that level of the people who are right now participating in such World Cups.
So Ahan, what are the different initiatives your school takes to ensure that kids are moving enough, physically more active?
Our school are taking so many initiatives. They have so many extracurricular activities after school. And since they feel like some students who really like music are allowed to access the music rooms, play some drums, some guitar, some piano, and they even allowed The sports teachers to give out footballs, basketballs, volleyballs, everything a kid needs to survive
So the
break
resources
time.
are enough and the initiatives are also plenty so that children can find their passion in sports and, play.
I've also seen one more pattern in my school, that after a few core, hardcore subject bits such as math and science, we usually have a little core scholastic period, such as music, dance, or we have PE or swimming. So, like, it balances out, it gives the break that the students need to get back onto their track for studies.
So you mean very strategically they have planned
Yeah.
their timetable in a way that kids don't have to sit at a stretch for a long period
Yes.
of time. Excellent. Tell me one thing. Now, since the career industry is booming with plenty of options for children to choose from when they grow up, uh, in the hindsight, for us, we only had three streams: arts, commerce, and science. And someone either ends up being a teacher, a doctor, or an engineer, or a CA. So the choices were limited. But now it's like a sea. So my question would be, and gaming is also one form of career. Can gaming be a career that you would like to choose for yourself?
I mean, yeah, gaming, I don't think it will be a career. It is already a career. It is already a career by a lot of gaming industries. Let's take a certain game in particular, Fortnite. They have had so many World Cups, World Championships around the globe since 2018. So it's not something which is really new. It has become a career. And that career, many people who win those tournaments start social media, like type of gaming things. So they show how they play, how their dynamics in the game are, and they earn more money in that. So, yes, it could absolutely be a career. And would I try it? I mean, if I got the platform, if I was completely sure that I will be able to reach that level, then sure, I would try it.
So you are saying that gaming can be an incredible career for Gen Zs. But is it a sustainable career? I mean, 1 out of 10 teens, as per a study, are only inclined to take gaming as a career and become a success in it. So, if you get an option, Ahan, to go for esports as a career, tell me about it. What would you do?
So if I had a chance, I would not take it. I mean, esports does seem like an easy career, but it's the players that matter because some people have a huge amount of talent and they can game every single day and they have that passion. But if you don't have that passion and you don't think you can make it, you might not even be good enough. And many games do not give a huge amount of prize money unless you're playing a really high level or elite class tournament. So I think, and also the setups will cost a lot to join the tournament, to go to the country that's hosting the tournament. So I would not take it as an opportunity if I had a chance.
You're right.
Ma'am, I feel that, as you said, that 1 out of 10 students pick the career
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they have to go through a pool of people, they might not succeed. I feel that doesn't that go for all jobs? I mean, like, let's take doctor for example. A student passes the 10th grade with flying colors, 12th grade with flying colors, and they start to apply for jobs. Wouldn't they also have to face other people? They would have to face other people as well, yeah. So they would have to try and compete with other people so they could get into the university and then get a job. So I feel that if you're talking about competitivity, then it's in all jobs, it's not only in gaming.
So you would certainly want to opt for for this career and not the traditional ones.
No, I would love to do traditional one, but gaming is a really fun career if you have a passion for it.
Yeah, right. So tell me three things, each of you, that your generation is doing wrong. What are those three things?
I feel that, first of all, excessive gaming. Then, as we discussed before, they don't have a set passion. And third, I feel is that they don't they watch different types of videos even in the social media apps. There are two types of videos: reels and long term videos. Now, I had recently seen a survey in which it showed that long term videos don't take that much of a toll as short reels do. So that's one problem, because most of the kids, even kids now, I've seen 5-year-old kids having the movement like this, keep on going. So
Yes.
I feel that that is one thing which is doing wrong. If you want to watch something, watch a a long form video, which then also restricts it, because once it comes to an end, it comes to an end.
Yes.
So you have that little even time gap, so you can understand where
Mm.
you are.
You're right. So long form content is useful as you're not doom scrolling. You're watching it in at a sustainable for a sustainable period of time. But reels and shorts could be very very addictive. You're
That's one
absolutely
thing
right.
which Gen Z is doing wrong, reels.
Okay. What are the three things?
So, almost same like Burhan. I think my first one would be problematic gaming, because when I was just searching up some information for my school project, I found out that 1 in 8 children are at risk of problematic gaming, which is like a gaming which causes like a negative effect on you and your mental health. And the second would be attention spans. So one thing Borhan also said was that watching long videos are much better, and I totally agree. Because when children are watching short videos, they have that option to just doom scroll, which they can just scroll if they don't like the video. And if they're asking a question like, for example, they're stuck with a math problem and they want to know one of the math theorems, instead of searching up a video, they might just go to shorts. And shorts, they might not give the proper information, and they might summarize it in such a short format the people might not even be able to understand anything. So I think that's what's lowering the attention span these days.
Let's get into something more creative. I want to know if the playgrounds disappear tomorrow, what are the things that your generation would miss out on?
Now, if playgrounds had disappeared, I feel that it would be replaced by gaming, unfortunately. It would be replaced. It would be forgotten in a very short span of time, but they would be missing out on a lot. Because, see, when you're socializing online, now I've heard this term a lot called catfishing.
Yeah.
So people who are really old try and act like young people and try and socialize with young people. And I feel that you're not getting the right connections over there like you are physically. Socializing is one thing which they will miss out on a lot. And also, playgrounds are the main place where younger kids and middle kids usually they go out for physical activity, and if that is lost, then they're always on their phones.
We're going to have a fatter generation if there are no like playgrounds. Okay, Ahan.
So I no, I kind of agree with you. I don't truly believe it'll be forgotten, because most parents take the little kids out to parks and stuff. But once all the playgrounds start to disappear, they might still take them to parks, but there won't be any playgrounds. So they might roll around, play tag, play
Maybe
games at,
indoor parks or
yeah.
something like this. But you
And
won't get that joy of being
yeah,
in the open
of
air.
swinging in the monkey bars, going down the
Absolutely.
slide. But I still think that kids could make it up for playing football in a field, maybe playing tag in some hilly area. But I do believe that gaming will become stronger once.
I've also noticed a change that younger kids do not prefer going to playgrounds. Instead, they prefer to go to fields and the courts to play. So I feel that playgrounds might get replaced by the courts instead of actually getting replaced by gaming.
Right, right.
Yeah, but if fields disappear, then I
Then that's
think,
going to be a big
yeah,
problem.
then that's gonna be a huge
Right,
problem.
right, right.
Nowhere to play football,
Right.
sports.
You know, there was a time during my college time, there used to be cultural events, including sports. I've not been a sport enthusiast, but I did participate at that point, and there were a lot of races, like different simple races, obstacle, hurdle race, running races, and stuff. I was very excited for the race. Prior to the preparation of the event, we did a lot of warm up. I built my endurance. I did some strength training at home. We didn't have the facility to go to gym, so I used to lift my little brother up and get all my muscles restored a little better. And then the day of the sport happened. Unfortunately, I did not make it even in one race. I participated in all with all that excitement and vigor, But when I participated and I lost in all the races, the lesson that I got from that was that I should never participate in sports again. And that was that momentarily feeling that you get after you have faced failure. It kind of slaps you on the face. You're like, who do you think you are? That was my feeling. I learned that I'm not going to participate in sports again. But when I look back in the hindsight now, I feel I sh- that was a wrong move, and I could have taken lessons from that failure and worked upon it and not given up on sports. Instead, would have chosen one sport to play and aspire to play. But that didn't happen for so many years. What are those lessons you've got in your time on playground, as we're talking about playgrounds now? What has been the learning?
So I remember this one time when I was, I think around 11 or 12, I'd gone to my first basketball tournament. And in that, when we were practicing in school, I felt like I was really good. I was like really good. I'll be able to dominate the competition because I was playing with my peers. I knew their moves. I did not understand that at that point of time. And when I went into the court, I tried my best, but I couldn't win. I froze because of the failure. I went off the court crying because I wasn't able to make any improvement on the court. My coach told me, "Why are you crying? Because you failed?" I said, "Yeah." And he said that, "Did you really think that on one try with such less practice you would be able to succeed this much?" And I said, "I thought so, yeah." And I learned a lesson that day that you have to try harder when you're on different levels, but you don't give up. Never give up when you face failure. As many people say, that failure is one of the greatest successes. It's a very huge lesson you learn that breaks you into reality, that you have people who are better than you, and you will need to get better by practicing.
Absolutely.
And
And I think sports, you learn you face more failures on sports than in any other activities, right? Because you're head on in front of the game and you want to give your best, but you're not always going to win, right? So, what are those lessons for Ahan?
Let me tell you a story. I used to love football, and since we had a tournament coming up, I knew this would be my day. I would win. I would get first place because even I knew that I was the best in my batch because I would dominate over all my other friends. So when the day of the tournament came, the first match went off amazingly, and then the second match we faced a really really good team, and we lost, and then that shattered my confidence. And then I didn't play good for any than the rest of the matches. Then I decided to not try in these tournaments again because I didn't like to lose. I didn't like the feeling to lose. Then my dad taught me this really important lesson. Failure is not when you lose something. Failure is when you stop trying, when you have zero chance at succeeding.
Absolutely. And what a wonderful takeaway from your both your stories, right? Failure is a part, is a stepping stone to success. And I think what failure is a teacher. If you perceive it as a teacher, it's not a bad thing. So absolutely, very well said.
one more thing, that match, after the match was done, my coach told me was that you attempted shots even though they didn't go in. You attempted it, right? That's what matters, not the shots you make, but the ones you attempted.
Right.
And that doesn't only apply in sports, it applies in real life as well.
All right. So, what is that one sport or game that you wish to be invented?
um I feel that the sports world is enough. We don't need any more. But now, coming to the gaming world, I don't think that I have come across a game which teaches you about finance. So none of the games, most of the games are usually about shooting or about building something, but none of the games teach you about finance, which is very much needed in nowadays generation. None of the kids know about finance. So now, if I were to create a game, I would create a game that would teach you about finance and in, incorporate that into a fun type of simulator.
Absolutely. And so relevant because kids are addictive to also shopping as one way,
Yeah.
right? And this is going to teach them how to stop the habit of misspending and learn the habit of saving.
I think one more problem with Gen Zs is that They get the money, they spend it. They don't save any money.
I think through gaming, they can learn how to, you know, program their
Yeah.
whole, you know, life towards money, managing money, investing in the right way, right? All of this. Ahan, what do you think?
So if I had to make a video game, my first choice was like Borhan, something financial that would help kids understand finance, real estate. But then I came up with this new idea. I realized that there's no game that'll teach kids about real fighting. Like if you're in a real fight, most games would just say, okay, punch here, 1 point, uppercut, 3 points. But then I realized there's no game that teaches you how to actually fight. So my first thought was, okay, let me make a game that can teach you how to fight. So first, maybe the game could be in a console like Nintendo. You could strap it around your hand. They would show you a tutorial, uppercut, how to fix your posture, and then while doing that, you can get points. You can go on a global leaderboard. You can compete with your friends. But then also teach really important lesson to kids. Fighting is not about seeing who's cool. It's about self defense.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think those that's one of the skills that kids can hone while playing any game because it's fun and it's also skill based, right? Okay. Right, so we now delve into our next segment, which is the most interesting of all, is the game. As you know, you're from Active Kids, so you know we always start and end our session with a game. So excited? It's going to be an individual round, so no teams, right? So our first game is called Myth or Fact. There'll be statements you're not allowed to explain. You're just going to say myth or fact, and you're going to say it together after 3 seconds. You're not allowed to hear each other's response. Okay? Ready? So the first question is you can't make a career in sports unless you're gifted.
Myth.
Myth.
It's a myth. Okay, so anyone can have a career in sports. You don't have to be gifted. Okay, great. Video games reduces attention span.
Fact.
Fact.
Full? Good. Next one. Gaming is a waste of time.
Myth.
Myth.
You surely believe that?
I mean, it depends what games you're playing. If you're
Exactly.
playing, like, if you're playing a game which we were about to create, like something on finance, something on self defense, then that wouldn't truly be wasting time.
Absolutely.
And again, it's how you use social media as one of the biggest thing. If you're using games for maybe little time pass, then that's fine. But if you're using it to replace something else, then that's
Right. All right, the next one. Short breaks during gaming improve performance.
fact.
Fact.
Fitness is only about being thin.
Myth.
You need a backup plan even if you're talented. In career, do you think you also need a backup plan?
Yeah, fact.
Fact.
And the last one in this segment is future jobs will require digital skills.
Fact. 100% fact.
Absolutely.
AI is growing, means you have to also grow in the field of AI.
Right, right.
You have to move with the generations.
We go to the second game, which is called Finish the Sentence. You'll be given set of statements and you need to finish the set. And you can't explain. Okay, it has to be in few words. Burhan, the first one. I feel proud when I win a game because it's a rapid fire. You need to be quick.
Okay, can you repeat the sentence again?
I feel proud when I win a game because
Because it gives me dopamine rush.
the best thing about gaming with friends is
I get to beat them.
the one game I can never quit is
Fortnite.
Roblox.
playing outside makes me feel.
Really happy.
Excited.
I stopped liking sport when
It grew old for me.
I wish adults knew that sport also.
Helps increase skills.
Okay. I know I need a break when
When um,
your eyes hurt.
yeah. I couldn't come up
Okay.
with an answer for that one.
Okay. When do you know you need a break?
When I feel worn out, tired.
Okay.
Oh, I got one now. When your body's cramped up.
I lose track of time when.
I doom scroll.
I doom scroll. Same answer.
Okay. Parents worry because
We're too much into gaming.
We watch too much television.
in 5 years, I hope I am.
A doctor.
A multi-billionaire company.
Okay. Yes, great. You need to get dream big. Okay. Right. Right. And now the last and the final question for this. Okay. How much of screen time do I have?
1.5 hour.
3 to 4 hours.
So, Ahan and Burhan, you've been a part of Active Kids for really, really long time, and we've seen you grow and evolve. Let us know how has Active Kids helped you reach to this level and also helped you play your best game in life.
So, Active Kids has been a huge help for me. I mean, I transformed from a shy guy who couldn't speak in front of three people to now giving speeches in front of my whole class. And yeah, winning lots of speech contests, all thanks to Active Kids.
Active Kids has helped me a lot improve my communication skills. It has helped me communicate clearly and without using any words such as like to keep on stopping my conversation and keep the conversation flowing.
Great. Thank you very much for joining. That's about it. Believe me, this was such a wonderful conversation with the two of you. It did help me reflect a lot on what is the perspective we as parents have about sports and games, because gaming is always considered from a negative lens, but when we hear from you that it it has endless possibilities if you have the right balance, routine, and a rhythm to it, I don't think it can should be perceived as negative, right? So it was a great conversation. Thank you so much for joining, the two of you.
Thank you, ma'am, for inviting us.
Yeah, it was an honor being here.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So that comes to the end of today's conversation. Do tune in to our channel, subscribe as we empower the little ones to grow, shine, and rise. Thank you.